Now that I'm in college, I've had to take some time to get used to just the sheer amount of weird, goofy, cartoonish shit that I see every single day. And look, it's not like I haven't seen something a little bit goofy before. Because I have. I've seen all kinds of weird, wacky things over the years. Public mental breakdowns, groups of emos and red hots battling it out in the park, fights between junkies and pigeons, junkies pissing in the middle of the street, junkies shooting up in the middle of the street, junkies fucking. My city has a lot of junkies. And it's not even all that bad raunchy stuff either. A lot of the goofiest things I've seen have actually been pretty funny. I've seen policemen smoking J's with fellas who spend their whole lives dressing up and pretending to be Spider-Man. Living in the city, you kind of just get used to seeing some crazy, goofy shit from time to time. I'm pretty sure this is just the kind of stuff that happens once you put, enough people in a concentrated area for a long enough period of time, I think. At this point, that goofy shit is really just a part of city life. And because my school is plopped down right in the center of my city, you best believe I was ready to see some goofy, weird shit in there. So I made damn sure to be prepared for whatever came my way. But pretty much as soon as I got into college, I was shook by the sheer contrast between the people in college versus the people roaming your everyday street. Sure, they were just as wacky as before, but it was in this whole new way that I wasn't used to. I've become accustomed to a lot of goofy shit over the course of my life living in a city. And I've learned how to deal with it, live with it without really questioning it all that much. But one thing about college that I cannot seem to get over is men wearing skirts. To be honest, it's just not something I really expected to see. And don't get me wrong, it's not like it's an exceptionally common experience to see a fella walking around with a skirt on. It's not like it's a common thing by any means, but it's something I've never seen before. And in college there's an oddly large minority of fellas who treat it as though it's just the style. But why? I don't really know. I don't understand why fellas in college would feel so obliged to be that damn hipster. If you can even consider it hipster at that point. But whatever the point is, whatever their goal may be, I just don't understand how wearing a skirt can really accomplish anything for them. Obviously this is probably just supposed to be some sort of act of self-expression kind of thing. Because a lot of people in college like to express themselves through their clothing. But whatever that really means, I'm not too sure. I was always one for just wearing clothes for, wearing. But show up to that joint with a rainbow on your t-shirt and you'll have a great time seeing all the wacky characters that come up to you. Personally, I think that expressing yourself through your fashion is kind of odd. I mean, obviously you should wear the clothes that you like. But then again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with just wearing a relatively normal outfit. Clean clothes without all kinds of marks, stains, and rips all over them.
What do you mean I gotta stop walking around with shit stained pants on my ass? I'm trying to express myself here.
I mean, the whole idea of self-expression is cool if you're like a painter or like an interpretive dancer, I guess. I mean, no matter what you do, I think you should be expressing yourself through your work, what you do every day. You should be expressing yourself through that. And not dressing up every single day as though it's Halloween as the alternative. I mean, not to mention the fact that, dressing up like a vampire every day or wearing skirts or whatever isn't really self-expression when you are not a vampire. A lot of people like to pretend as though someone's fashion sense is really just part of who they are. As though it's set in stone right out the womb. But that's pretty much bullshit, man. Your fashion sense is not genetic. You do not have to dress this way or that way. There is no way in hell that any fella is cursed to be a skirt-wearing man from the get-go. And when it comes down to it, we are all human beings, 10 fingers, 10 toes, 4 cheeks, you get the point. And as human beings, we are all working off the same hardware up here. And we're all trying to find the best way to cope with that and live a good life. So as a fellow human, I can assure you that plopping on a skirt in an act of self-expression is not going to help you with that all too much. I have really no reason to believe that this hardware up here has evolved to protect, to hunt, and also to see a man wearing a skirt for self-expression as any way worthwhile all at the same time. Personally, my biggest issues with a man wearing a skirt is nothing to do with my political views, my agenda against men with mommy issues, or some bullshit. The real reason I believe that men shouldn't be wearing skirts is 2 reasons and 1 word that are plopped smack down right between any fella's legs. Something that the ladies don't have to deal with. Hence their skirt wearing in the first place. And if it wasn't for this reason, I don't know why anyone would have a problem with a fella wearing a skirt. If it wasn't for this reason, it would probably be normal for a fella to wear a skirt. But for this reason, it's not normal for a fella to wear a skirt. And it's not because of the patriarchy or societal norms or because of a history of men being toxically masculine and conserved and afraid to express themselves, but because of your goddamn balls, man. Fuck! I don't care what you're into and I don't care what you do all day. Live your life whatever way you want to as long as you're not imposing it on my life. But having your bulge falling out of a miniskirt, that is imposing it onto my life. In conclusion, I do not really care about any of this stuff as long as it's reserved for America and the internet. But there is no good reason in hell for a fella to wear a skirt. I don't know, man, It's just too much. On the contrary, there's a very good reason for fellas not to wear a skirt. Being that I don't want to see your balls.